Dewey, thank you for joining us 2 days before Francis Ngannou takes on Anthony Joshua. How would you describe Francis to somebody who'd never met him before?
Wow. I would describe Francis as an empathetic, caring, big guy.
With a big punch.
Oh, yeah. With a huge punch, the most huge punch in all of fighting sports.
As someone who's taken a few punches, pads, what does it... Can you describe what it feels like?
Just holding pads and having him punch through the pads, it feels like it's a very grueling, painful situation. It's not fun. Luckily, I fought for many years, so I know how to take damage and kind of absorb it, but it's not fun. It's very painful. Everyone thinks they want to train Francis. They're going to do like Mike Tyson said. They're not going to put the body pads on and all of that if they do, because very few guys can handle the rigors of training him every day. It's very hard. It's painful for your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, and of course your body. But only a crazy dude like me, John Moomba, and Eric Nixick, we're willing to step up and accept that challenge.
But Anthony Joshua will feel it on Friday.
That's the goal. We have one rule. You can punch us as hard as you want. Just make sure you punch your opponent just as hard. And that's not a problem for Francis Ngannou.
If you think back to when you first met Francis, when you first saw him in the gym, could you ever have imagined you'd be here or before the Tyson Fury fight?
I couldn't imagine that, but I knew he'd be a world champion. At the time, he was doing mixed martial arts. At the time, he was signed with UFC, and I knew from the first day he would be champion. I got videos from years ago saying he'd be UFC heavyweight champion. Even after our worst night, when he lost to Stipe Miocic in their first outing, right after the fight, I said, "Don't worry, guys, he'll still be UFC champion. He's just too great. He's too driven. He's been through too many adversities in his life to even get to the point where he was at before he was champion to not succeed and finish it off." And I view this boxing thing as the same way, as scary as it seems. His life, the things he's been through, to be at the position he's in, he just deserves to get to the highest heights in all of these fight sports. And Anthony Joshua is standing in the way of that. And so I just can't see him being re-navigated off of this journey that he's on. He's going to do some big things for the world, not just in winning a fight, but in showing the world that anything is possible if you're willing to really put your life on the line for it.
When he was in MMA, at what point did you ever try to convince him to go down the boxing route? Did you think that would be better for him?
Definitely not. One thing about Francis, he's a very intelligent guy. He's super astute. So you don't have to ever convince him of anything. Because like I said, from where he came from, just to be in the position he was in was nearly impossible. So how are you going to tell someone who's accomplished triumphant things that if you're in the same position, you probably couldn't accomplish about what he should do? One thing I know is that he wanted to be a boxer in the first place. So it was just a natural evolution of things once he gained the fame and the popularity and you know, started being able to navigate himself the way he wanted to. Boxing was just a natural course that he wanted to do. And he even said when he first won the UFC world title, "I'm going to box before my career is over." And guess what? Here we go. Second fight in, fighting two of the three best boxers of this generation. That's something that I don't think anyone could have predicted.
Did it feel like the right time last year when the Tyson Fury fight came around for him to make the move?
Well, according to the media, no time was the right time. It was a wash. It was easy work. But absolutely, we did. We felt it was the right time. However, he had just came off of a bad knee injury and surgery. So theoretically, after having 2 years off, fighting the best heavyweight boxer in the world wasn't ideal. But think about this. People don't realize he hadn't fought in 2 years when he stepped in the ring for the first time to fight a 10-round fight against the undefeated world champion in his prime. And you've seen what the outcome was. Those things are really, really nearly impossible to do. And again, I keep saying things are nearly impossible to do, but he's doing them. And so a fight against Anthony Joshua, in my mind, are just the same. That's why we're not stressed. That's why we're not nervous. We're confident, and we feel it's going to be the same thing that Francis always does. Turns the impossible to impossible.
You're right about the 2 years, because in a lot of time in boxing, fighters will be out for a while, they'll come back, take
warm-up fight.
Warm-up fights. How much, obviously Francis will have learned a lot, but just being in that ring for 10 rounds almost got rid of the ring rust as well. Is that part of why maybe you're expecting better on Friday?
Absolutely. First of all, your first experience at anything, we could have dreams of grandeur and say, I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to jump out of an airplane. I want to be a pilot. I want to race, drive down the Autobahn, whatever it is you want to do. Until you do it, you can't even imagine the experience you're going to gain from it, the exhilaration you're going to gain from it, the self-gratification you're going to gain from it. Times that by 100 when it comes to fighting. Your first fight, you haven't fought in 2 years. You're fighting the best fighter in the world. The whole world says, man, you have no shot. This is a waste of time. And you do what you did. Should have won the fight. If that can't give you ultimate confidence in yourself, ultimate belief in yourself, and real tangible experience that you can lean on in big up-and-coming fights like this, there's nothing in the world that can.
If you're honest, was it a better performance from Francis than you expected, or was that exactly what you expected?
It's exactly what we expected. And when I say we, I'm talking about me, the team, and he. He expected it. We all told the world, man. We said it before we got receipts. We said there would be a knockdown. We said Francis would knock him down. We said Francis would be able to go 10 if need be. We said Francis would win the fight. And one judge agreed with us. Unfortunately, two didn't. It came down to two people. To the chagrin of the masses, most people thought Francis won the fight. To Francis having the greatest moment ever in all the sports history. Two people took that from him that night. So there's a bittersweet feeling still in my spirit about it, because I just knew he was going to get his hand raised that night. And when he didn't, it was such a irritating thing to me. I felt he won the fight by 1 or 2 rounds for sure.
How were you happy enough that this fight's come around quite quickly after that one? Were you happy enough to get back into camp and go again?
Man, I'm such a weirdo. I don't care if the fight was next week or 2 years from now. When it's time to fight, we're going to train as good as we can and have the guy ready. So, yeah, I'm happy he's fighting, but I'm happy that he wanted to fight and he created this opportunity. Guys, the reason why this fight is happening with Anthony Joshua is because Francis wanted this opportunity. He seen Joshua Parker defeat Deontay Wilder. He knew there'd be a void there for Anthony Joshua to fight on March 8th, and he stepped right in. He's the first one who initiated the call out. I want that work, blah, blah, blah. We see it all the time in boxing now. Guys on the internet saying they want to fight you, blah, 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 but when it's time to negotiate, it doesn't happen. Francis said he wanted to fight. They had the fight done within, 3 or 4 days. This is what boxing's supposed to be like. This is what real champions are supposed to be like. It's time for guys to fight each other, and Francis is leading the charge at that. His first fight, he fought the best fighter in the world. His second fight, he's fighting the second or third best fighter in the world. Can't get any more courageous than that.
Very different fighters, stylistically, Tyson and Anthony. How much have you taken that into account in training, or do you just train Francis to fight?
No, absolutely. Any studious, intelligent coach or fighter definitely takes these things into account, because styles make fights. Tyson is a very difficult task. He's multidimensional. He fights 3-4 different ways. He's big. It's hard to find guys that can emulate him and do the things he does, from switching stances to grappling to being a little dirty to being able to actually box from the outside like Ali, sticking and moving. He's a difficult task, man. Joshua, on the other hand, is a more conventional boxer. We've seen his style throughout the history of boxing. Good old-fashioned basics, popping that jab and trying to land the good old-fashioned right hand. This is nothing new. But it doesn't mean it's not effective, and it doesn't mean it's not dangerous. So I feel this fight has a heightened level of danger versus the Tyson Fury fight, because Tyson Fury can't really put your lights out with one punch. this is a dangerous fight. This is a fight of two guys with the same type of attributes. Big, strong African brothers swinging on one another. I can't wait to see it.
No, me neither. Do you think what Tyson Fury could not watch was Francis in a professional boxing fight? Anthony Joshua can.
Yes.
Will that help him, or is there much more to come from Francis?
Hopefully it won't. Hopefully he'll get in the ring and Francis will get him out of there quickly and life will be perfectly balanced and the complete circle works out. But I'm sure it's going to help him with his level of confidence and them having some kind of game plan to view and create for themselves. He's with a very astute team. We all know Ben Davison's a very smart guy. We all know, the British fighters are really sharp. But so are we, man. We're not second graders doing this for the first time. Francis will be ready for the jab and the right hand, and it's gonna come down to just who's the best man, and we'll see. They both got power. They're both talented. They're both athletic. This is a fight that you definitely don't want to miss. Two big, strong heavyweights. How many times have you seen heavyweights get in the ring and look like these two guys? It's been a long time. So it's going to be a pleasing fight, and we plan on having our hand raised at the end.
Francis did get a huge amount of credit, even though he did lose to Tyson, but that only goes so far. At some point, if he's going to go on, he's got to win, right?
Yes,
people
yes.
impressed the first time, but he had that surprise factor.
Yes.
Now he's got to, show he can actually win.
Yes. Well, like I said, sir, don't get smart with me. Like I said, I felt we actually won. Francis felt he actually won, and that's what matters. All that matters in situations like this are how the fighter feels, because we can lie to everybody else. We can't lie to ourselves. Francis truly feel that he won the fight. Therefore, he's coming into this second outing with the confidence of a winner. Regardless of what you guys say, regardless of the reality of the decision, when two men fight for 30 minutes, they know who truly won that fight. And that's all I can say about that. I can tell you Francis is confident. He's stepping into the ring as a champion and a winner. And yeah, anytime we get into a fight, good old-fashioned fist fight, we plan on winning it. And as long as the fighter keeps his confidence, he has a great chance of doing just that.
Everything suggests this fight will finish early.
Yes.
If it goes 10 rounds, do you have faith that the judges will?
Hey, he asked me that question. Hey, I don't want to incriminate our team. Absolutely, you got to have faith in the human element. You got to have faith that people will just do the right thing. And sometimes, like I said, life isn't a perfect circle. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. But yes, I have faith that Francis will put on a dominant performance, and he will have his hand raised. Our goal is for him to be victorious. There's nothing more important than him being victorious in all our lives. We've been here for over 7 weeks. We did our training camp here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Francis is locked in. He's not, playing around. This is very serious. This is high stakes. He's 100% dedicated himself for this opportunity, and so did his team. We're all in. He's gonna win.
Is it a fight you've thought about for a lot longer than 3 months?
Well, when Francis started this incredible journey of fighting the best fighters in the world, we knew Joshua would be somewhere on the list. After you fight Tyson Fury, who else can it be? Joshua, Wilder, guys of this nature, this magnitude. So we knew Joshua was on the list. No one thought it would happen so fast, but hey, that's what Francis does. He takes the impossible and makes it very possible.
And if he does win, and then of course in May we have Fury and Usyk.
I mean, I don't know why the media, I don't know why the sports writers, I don't know why people just don't want to say it. Your Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh already said what's going to happen, guys. There's no mysteries here. He said the winner out of Francis versus Joshua fights the winner out of Usyk versus Fury. That's it. There's no more discussion. So we have a clear path to what the goals are. He beats Joshua. He fights the winner of Usyk Fury. Simple as that. It's already been written. It's already been said. Of course, I have a preference. I'm only human. I'm not going to sit here and be political and lie to you. You know, everyone on team in Ngannou has a preference because of the bittersweet pill. It was bittersweet because the fans still loved Francis and felt he won, but it was still bitter because the judges didn't, or two of them out of three didn't. You know, we want a rematch with Fury, and what better stakes would it be if it was for all the belts in professional boxing, a unification fight, rematch fight for all four belts? You couldn't write a better script. That would be better than the next Creed movie that's going to be written. It couldn't get better. So, of course, I have a preference. I would love for Francis to go in there and dominate Anthony Joshua. And then I would love for Fury to somehow get through Usyk, which isn't going to be an easy task at all. That's a 50-50 fight. Usyk could definitely win that fight. But we love to see Francis and Fury fight for all the straps in a rematch, grudge match, controversial decision. You can't write a better story.
As Francis's profile rises, I'm sure your own profile is rising. Do you have fighters contact you to train them, to work with them?
I've always had fighters contact me from all over the world. You know, hopefully my profile rises, but if it doesn't, I'm okay. I'm happy in the position I'm in. I have a bunch of great fighters that I work with. I've been working with Francis for many years now, since early 2017, so this is not a new journey for me. I was with Francis when we lost the world championship in UFC. I was also with him when we won the world championship in UFC. You know, I was with him through all the scrutiny and people saying he can't do it and get a new team and all of that. I've withstood it through all the obstructions and all the criticism. If people want to train with me, they know where to find me. If not, I'm cool. My life is great. I'm the president of this beautiful company, Team Combat League. Life is good. My time is very short anyway. But I hope through Francis's success, the entire team succeeds. Not just me, Coach Mumba, Coach Eric, everyone, his videographers, his managers, Markel, Michelle, the whole team. I just want everyone to hopefully will be better from this and be more respected from this. But at the end of the day, all we care about is Francis winning. If Francis wins, nothing else matters to me, whether my profile grows or not, because I know I was involved in one of the greatest moments in sports history and definitely one of the most rare moments in all of fight history. And that history cannot be changed or gets any better.
Apart from Francis winning, when you go to bed at night, how do you see the fight playing out?
I had a dream. I had a dream Francis knocked him out. It was just a dream, so I don't really put heavy weight into a dream because I know all in life is reality, and the reality of Friday night is going to be severe. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose, and that's the unfortunate side of sports. We get to see a result in real time. We get to see triumph or misery in real time. Someone's going to leave on Friday night very sad, most likely psychologically broken. I don't feel that'll be us. I feel it'll be Anthony Joshua. And I'm going to feel that way until it's not. You can't defeat him until you beat him. You can't defeat Francis until you beat Francis. And I don't think he has what it takes to beat Francis.
Which shot knocked him out in your dream?
It was a left hook in my dream. But the wonderful thing about Francis, it could be the right uppercut, the left uppercut, the right hand, straight right hand, the straight left hand. It could be anything because Francis possessed power in both hands that could put out a man. And we'll see how it goes. March 8th, here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a fantastic show, and we will be ready.
Last question. I believe John Fury's living around the corner. Have you run into him?
Yeah, I ran into John Fury. I seen him yesterday. He sat next to us, talked to us, and all of that. You know, there's no beef with John Fury, and I'm sick of the media misconstruing things I say. About a week ago, a guy was interviewing me. He asked me, if John Fury wants to fight you, would you fight him? He asked me that question. I didn't call out John Fury. I told the guy I'm a retired fighter, but I'll fight anybody in the world. He asked me if John Fury wants to fight me. Would I fight him? Of course. If anyone wanted to fight me, I would fight him. But I definitely didn't call John Fury out. I have no beef with John Fury. I'm not trying to fight anyone unless they want to fight me. I'm a peaceful man. I'm the president of a multi-million-dollar boxing company called Team Combat League, starting the second season March 28th, by the way. I don't want to fight anyone, but I am a man. I am an ex-champion, and I am a 2008 Hall of Fame inductee, martial arts Hall of Fame inductee. So I'm definitely down for combat. I'm definitely down to fight anyone who wants to fight me. So please don't misconstrue things when the guy asks you a question and you simply answer it. But I seen him yesterday. He was a gentleman. He talked to us. It was all cool. There's no hatred or animosity because we're not competing against one another. It's Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou competing against one another. I have no beef with his coach, Ben, none of that, because it's not about that. It's about the two fighters going into the ring and showing who's the best in the world. That's all it's about. It's not personal. So I definitely don't take any of this personal with any other camp. The only thing I take personal is trying my best to help the fighter that I'm in the corner with be at his best. That's it. Nothing else matters to me. Fighters, family, friends, nothing else matters.